Okay, let's talk about the Price Wizard scanner in this video. Um, because I have a limited quota as a third-party developer on Bloomberg, we also added support for a company called FMP, which is a data feed company called Financial Modeling Prep. So just for Price Wizard, I'm going to switch over to that to save my quota. Um, but I do want to show you the full power of it. So let's start up Price Wizard Scanner. It looks a lot like the extreme Hers scanner, but again, quite a different problem we're solving. What we're using are a series of 15 neural nets that have been pre-trained to evaluate uh, the what a particular stock is worth, and it'll give you the history. So this is all pretty much the same as we had before, with the addition in here that you can pick a different look back period. So 15 years, 5 years all the way up to 30 years back. 20 years is the default. So we'll leave that alone. That's new though. And then the rest of this is sort of as it was. So we did the OEX before for extreme Hearst. So I'm on an individual stock here. So let's take that off and we'll just go to index holdings and oops, no, I did Microsoft anyway. Okay, well I can clear the list. We'll start fresh. So let's do the OEX. Bring this down. So we can put in OEX as an index. You can also put in now the ETF name. So if I wanted to put in OEF, I can do that for you. OEF, US equity, like that. It should be able to find the OEX index underlying and run it. Now you notice we're in using FMP instead of Bloomberg, but I use the Bloomberg symbology. We have a translator built in, so anybody that's using FMP as a backup for their Bloomberg terminal won't have to change how they enter the symbols. So right now it's going out and finding the OEX or the OEF, and then it's translating that to an OEX, and then finding what the holdings are in the OEX right now. And then you'll see them running against the FMP has APIs. They have more than 100 APIs. So we're going to that API and asking for the holdings of the OEX, and it'll pull those in and run them. And what we'll see here are all the valuations assigned currently to the OEX holdings. You'll see an insert chart down here with the same pop-out chart that we had before in the extreme Hearst scanner. Down in the lower section, what's new besides the chart zoom working properly now, the chart book can be compiled automatically, just like before. And under analysis, we have a backtesting tool which also includes the ability to produce a monthly grid of performance that goes back as long as your data goes back. So it's taken time to go find the OEX for us, but it should do that and come up pretty quick. It may already have downloaded it. There we go. Yeah, it was just downloading the 100 OEX stocks. So the first little chart, inset chart we have here is NVIDIA, and you can see the valuations rising very quickly, which is a good sign. Obviously, when we're valuing a set of fundamentals, we're valuing them as they are today and not as they will be some years in the future. So we leave that to the analysts. So for today, that's what it's worth today. But the investment public is discounting that often and investing in what they will be in the future. So, okay, so those are done. So let's blow this chart up so you can see that we have our big pop-out chart, so you can sort of see how NVIDIA's valuations have moved over time. All right, and again, we can sort this just like before. We can go to the as of section here and sort it. We can sort by market cap. And then I promise you the chart book. I won't do the chart book, although it's 100 pictures, but if you do add all charts, it'll go through and add every chart, and you can save it to PDF as we did before. Under studies, we can add additional studies to this. So let's do that. So it will add Extreme Hurst and Smart Channel and some of the other studies, the Hurst bands, onto the NVIDIA chart. So it'll just add it to one chart. Under additional settings, if you wanted to add to all the charts, you can set it to do that. It takes some time, and there were no extensions in there. So under analysis, what's new, besides the alert log, which again is here. So let's see, anything that, any of the stocks that ranked 90 and above will show up here. So CSA and INTU are both high ranked on the valuations, the valuation ranking neural net, and so they show up. And we could look at one of those if we wanted to. Let's see. I'll sort by, okay, there we go, one that's green. It usually means it's undervalued. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's undervalued, but it's a bit ratty. I guess they've had some. We actually fold in the quarterly earnings, so sometimes you get some big gyrations because of quarterly fluctuations. So, all right, so let's see what Costco's worth just for fun. That's pretty close to value. The market ran ahead, and then the valuation's catching up. So that's a good indication. They're doing okay. All right, so under analysis, we also have something new in past performance. So if we click that, the past performance app will come up, or dialog will come up, and we can then try some different strategies to see what would work best with the OEX, or what has worked best with the OEX in the past. Generally, our wizard rank, a lot of people do factor analysis where they're looking at each individual factor that goes into value. What we're doing with factor analysis is analyzing the factors that are derived from the valuations. So how fast are valuations growing? How undervalued are the valuations? Are they growing smoothly? What other factors? Are they accelerating? Are the valuations accelerating? Like we saw in NVIDIA, the valuations were accelerating upwards, going up faster and faster. So these are the factors that we fold into our wizard rank model. And as we're seeing here, what's happened is we're scanning the OEX stocks over, I think it's about 19 years, and then sorting them by wizard rank, taking the top 5% of them and buying them each month and holding them for a year. And this is over the whole length of the back history that we just ran. Now, of course, it's going to be survivor biased. We're not getting in this run. We're only looking at what's in the OEX today. There are ways to get the back history as it existed at the time. We've only found that to be about a 150 basis point difference. Whereas here, if you picked the top 5% every month by wizard rank, you get the performance of the green line. Whereas if you bought the whole OEX every month, you get the blue line. The red line is the brown line is if you did everything wrong, if you did the lowest rank. Sometimes they do well too. It's kind of funny. But anyway, if the OEX by itself over that period did a 17% return with about a 14% risk. Instead, the best portfolio here, of course, it's limited. You're talking about 5 stocks a month. It did 32% average annual with a 21% risk. So the risk, of course, goes up, but as a almost a 1,500 basis point spread. And you can change these things down here. You can sort by different factors, by value, by growth, sales, earnings, cash flow. You can sort by all the usual things, clip off the top 5, 10, 2%, whatever, and then add these constraints on. So maybe you want, one that we like is this no red zone, because we found that on a monthly scale, if a stock moves into the Hurst band, the red Hurst band, in other words, people are selling because it's going down on a monthly scale, that tends to be a retail trigger and create sort of a retail panic. So if we click no red zone in our picks and apply that, maybe we'll do a little better. Often that works, so I clicked apply, and we'll see if that comes up with anything better than we had before. It's a log scale on the side here. And it's a VAMI, so we're only investing the same amount every time. So actually it didn't come up with anything better. It's about the same. So if you want to look at the monthly grid of performance, that's here. So it comes up with the average annual return, the Sharpe ratio, and Sortino ratio. You can save that away. You can also look at what the picks are right now. So I guess there's only one pick. It's Amgen. So there's some new things there. Also, I don't think any of you have seen this. If you look at the factor analysis here, we also have a sensitivity test now. So how sensitive is Costco to changes in these factors? And these are the factors we use for valuation. So that comes up. So change in the earnings per share trailing 12 and the inflation rate are very sensitive for, that's the most sensitive for the change in value. And then you can sort of see the change over time here. And if you want to play the what if game, what if the earnings, here the earnings are about, for the quarter, almost $5. So, and this is almost 20, so that's pretty consistent. But if you wanted to bump this up to, say $5.50 and make this, $22 or so, you can re-estimate and it would come up to $903 for the share price. So that's all there. There's lots of tools available in here, and I didn't even show you the heat maps we have available. Sector heat map is here, so pretty overdone here in industrials. UPS is undervalued. There's some undervalued over here in real estate and a little bit in energy. Otherwise, kind of overvalued everywhere. And that's, well, not quite the end, because we can, again, from here, we can click on, I don't know, let's find one that's more interesting than that. We were doing Costco before. Let's pick, let's do, I don't know. I guess we could do Nike. See what Nike looks like. Okay, let's do Nike. All right, so right click on Nike and display a parallax chart. I showed you this before to illustrate how we can make a grid of charts, but now I'm just going to do the simple chart. So this is the one we were just looking at, but it's got all our other tools on it. And if you need to remember what the tools are, we're going to talk about the charting tools next, but there's a list of all our signal types here and how much edge they have, where they come from, which indicator, and how long they last, how many bars do they last. And that's a preview of the charting tool. And there'll be a bunch more about that in another video. And again, you can get to alerts here, just like we were doing before, and close that out. And that's the end of this video on, oops, where is it? Find the way to end.